What is up, fellow nerds? Today on Slash Point Reviews, we're going to be talking about Baskin. I think it's pronounced. Baskin is directed by Evrenol. I always butcher all the. I gotta stop watching foreign films. That's what's messing me up. Baskin is about a squad of police officers who get a call to an abandoned building that has a portal to hell in it. It's very frightening. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I have been slacking on my horror genre game lately, if that makes any sense at all. I haven't been watching a lot of horror movies, but how better to re-enter the genre than to start digging around on the internet to find a bunch of best of the year top picks for horror. So that's what I did. I went online and I started gathering up a list on IMDb of the year's greatest horror films, and I think I have like 26 or 30 or something like that, and Baskin was the first one I watched, and it did not let me down. Now, there are a few things that make Baskin very, very special to me, and very personal for me, and the first and foremost is that as I was growing up, my family, I was raised in a Christian household. They weren't like, crazy religious freaks or anything, but we did go to church every once in a while, and the whole if you're bad enough you're going to hell thing, yeah, that was definitely that was in place too. So hell to me is it's something that occupies the darkest spaces of my mind. It's still there. Hell to me can be very, very effective if done right. Baskin is the closest any movie has ever come to matching what's in my head when I think of hell. In the same way that Event Horizon kind of portrayed it, which was really, really freaky, Baskin kind of takes it up a notch, and it really makes it frightening. It's horrific to watch. And there are two different ways they kind of do it, and one way is more of your standard, let's torture people for a long time, and they do it well, and it's freaky, but it's still very standard. Earlier on in the movie, maybe not early on, but before things start to turn into torture, we get like this, almost like this abstract flashing of body parts and images, and you don't really know what you're seeing, and that's the stuff that scares me. The stuff that forces you to use your imagination and put pieces together, and maybe not want to know what the rest of those pieces are. They do a very, very good job. Now, what also makes Baskin special is that it's a very, very graphic movie, and it's very intense, but it doesn't sacrifice its characters to get there. The first half of the movie, maybe even a little bit more, is dedicated to making you feel your characters, and while they're not the type of characters that you're going to be necessarily rooting for or wanting to die, they're very real. You have a group of police officers, a group of men, and within this group you have different types of personalities, and they're all legit. It feels like these guys could be your friends. You got that one guy who's a dick, who's always trying to fight everybody. You got the other guy who's trying to keep them all in line. It's very effective, and to spend the first half of a movie just getting to know these guys, it definitely helps the last half for sure. Another great thing about the film is that the lighting. The whole movie, you feel like you're deeply involved in the environments and in the characters. You're really sucked into this world, which makes it that much more terrifying when the shit hits the fan. And it really, it bothered me on a pretty deep level. While Baskin does a great job of being grotesque and disturbing, one of the downsides to this is that when you first are introduced to the horrific events, they do it perfectly. They do it so perfectly that after the initial shock, it kind of starts to wear off a little bit. When you see some shit for the first time in this movie, it's hardcore. After that, it's more mainstream. Not to say it's not hardcore, but it's more like what you've seen in all the other torture porn movies. that's really the only fault I have with the movie. So this is going to be a quick review. I'm trying to get all these done so I can wrap up Best of 2016 here pretty soon. But I'm going to go ahead and give Baskin an 8 out of 10. And on the NAR meter, this movie's fucked up. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 on the NAR meter too. So don't show this to your kids. Unless you're me. Then show it to your kids and freak them out. Thanks, horror fans. Have a good night.